Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. The Wandon gang trial failed to get underway this morning due to technical difficulties. CPFSA locates family of physically abused 3-year-old boys. Reggae girls coach against the idea of moving the Women's World Cup from its current 4-year cycle. I'm Anthony Lugg. Here are the details. Up first this afternoon, Day 2 of the Wandon gang trial, a splinter of the St. Catherine-based Clansman gang in the Home Circuit Court, failed to get underway this morning due to technical difficulties. Chief Justice Brian Sykes adjourned the matter when the court resumed at 10 o'clock after the video connection in the main courtroom was unable to connect to the second courtroom. The proceedings will continue tomorrow. 2 former gangsters of the Spanish Town gang were scheduled to give evidence today against the alleged leader Andre Blackman Bryan and his 32 accomplices. They are charged with being part of a criminal organization, facilitating murder, conspiracy to murder, arson, and illegal possession of firearm and illegal possession of ammunition. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, has located the family of a 3-year-old boy who was reportedly abused in St. Catherine on Sunday. As Sandy Williams reports, the boy was injured during a domestic dispute.
On Monday, an image of a little boy with a bandage on his face was circulated on social media. The 3-year-old was allegedly injured during a domestic dispute between his mother and stepfather on Sunday. It's understood the post was originally made on Monday by the child's biological father, who was concerned. In the caption, the father stated, "Being a father, I have to speak publicly about this situation. This incident took place yesterday in Bogwalk, St. Catherine, where my baby's mother lives with her boyfriend. Yesterday, she called me on another person's phone crying, explaining her man laid his hands on my child, and it was so bad to the point where he was bleeding a lot. I'm traumatized." The boy was later taken to the hospital. According to the father, the child's mother reported the matter to the police. However, she did not want to press charges. He said he lives in Kingston and does not know where his child's mother, who lives with her partner, resides. The caption further stated, "There's nothing in this world my little child could do to deserve all of this." Crying emoji. This man needs to be in prison for the rest of his life. Also the child's mother for not pressing charges. The post caught the attention of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, who then launched an investigation into the matter. In a release on Monday, the agency confirmed that the family of the child has been located. The CPFSA says interviews have been conducted with both parents and an intervention was initiated to serve the best interest of the child. The child's mother made a statement to the police, who are also investigating to see if criminal charges are to be laid. The agency says it will continue to monitor the child, with counseling being planned for the family. The CPFSA is again calling on parents to prioritize the protection of their children and resolve disputes in a manner that will not cause harm to them. The agency says persons may report child abuse by calling the child abuse hotline at 211. They may also WhatsApp the CPFSA at 876-878-2882. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
To other news now. Newly elected president of the Pan American Health Organization 59th Directing Council and Jamaica's Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, is calling for countries to commit to building more robust healthcare systems. Dr. Tufton says these systems must have the capability of addressing current and future threats. Shamela Pullen reports.
The region has been significantly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. That's according to Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton in his acceptance speech on Monday as the president of the Pan American Health Organization 59th Directing Council. Dr. Tufton said this is not only therapeutically, but also socially, economically, and politically.
WHO figures show that there have been over 226 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 and over 4.5 million deaths up to September 17, 2021. On both accounts, the region of the Americas have had the highest numbers of over 87 million reported cases of COVID-19 and more than 2 million deaths. 5 countries in our region have ranked in the top 10 for cumulative deaths globally.
As a result, Dr. Tufton said the COVID-19 pandemic has sharpened inequalities in the region.
Vaccines have become a critical tool for recovery. Yet, a disproportionate amount of the over 5 billion doses administered globally has gone to high-income countries. While some countries in our region have vaccinated over 50% of their population, others remain below 3%. More than a third of countries in Latin America and the Caribbean are yet to vaccinate 20% of their populations. Jamaica has faced several challenges in having a reliable and consistent supply of vaccines.
Dr. Tufton says the region must act as a united force to build capacity and resilience in our public health systems.
Greater emphasis on primary health care, more collaboration around human resource training, support, and recognition, addressing the persistent scourge of NCDs that make our populations more vulnerable to man-made or natural disasters, and building the capacity for emergency response to disasters and emerging and re-emerging diseases that have become a recurring challenge for countries in the region, and in particular, small island developing states.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
And opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Maurice Guy, is urging local authorities to make representation to the World Health Organization concerning the non-recognition of fully vaccinated Jamaicans by the United Kingdom. Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith says the issue was raised with CARICOM and the UK government. She has also requested data from the Health Ministry to assist the UK government in a review of Jamaica's vaccination program. But Dr. Guy believes the stance taken by the UK could fuel vaccine hesitancy in Jamaica.
I do not think that the real purpose of vaccination, quite frankly, is to ensure that you can get into the UK or to get into the United States of America. It is to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And I think as a rider, it could also be indicated that such is so. I think we lose sight of the fact of what the vaccination program is about if we start to saying, okay, if you get the Covishield brand, you will not be allowed to enter the UK. Fortunately for us, so far, we have not received any more Covishield from India yet, so I'm expecting that the authorities will start to make the approaches that I suggested just a while ago.
Meanwhile, the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association does not believe the stance taken by the United Kingdom or the United States will have a serious impact on the island's tourism sector. Speaking on the morning agenda on Power 106 FM, JHTA President Clifton Reeder says the issue highlighted with the UK is easily reversible. Currently, Jamaica is among the UK's list of high-risk countries. The JHTA president says the country must reduce the COVID-19 positivity and reproductive rates for that to change.
We need to conform to the electronic system that they're working with. We don't want people to get further cold feet by saying that the vaccines are not good. That's why the UK won't recognize us going in as vaccinated. We just need to fix what we fix and have all confidence that the Foreign Affairs Ministry will go in there and do a good job quickly so that we can clear this up.
Mr. Reeder says from what he has learned from the UK issue, the country needs to change its vaccination code and implement an e-passport. The JHTA president says this change needs to be quick, as if it's delayed, then the island's tourism sector could be in serious jeopardy. He says so far, there have been some cancellations from the UK market, mainly for the winter tourist season.
But we're hoping that things will steady out, and as people get more and more vaccinated, that we will see the visitors coming, and hopefully for the winter, we will average anywhere from 50 to 60%.
As it relates to the number of tourists that are vaccinated before vacationing in the island, The JHTA president says there's not an official figure, but he believes it's in the high 60s. And it's now time for a break, but stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Thanks for staying with us. Professor of Public Health at the University of Technology, Alveston Bailey, is welcoming news that children aged 5 to 11 are now eligible for the Pfizer vaccine. The vaccine manufacturer made the revelation on Monday, noting that it will be seeking approval from the FDA. Professor Bailey weighed in during an interview on the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM.
I was quite pleased, actually, because this particular cohort of patients have never been studied before, and the study showed quite clearly that what they describe as a robust response to the vaccine was observed, and most importantly, that the children responded to the vaccine with a significantly lower dose, just 10 microgram, rather than the 30 microgram normally given to those over 12.
He says he is anticipating full use authorization to be granted in short order.
In fact, based on the data coming from the state, this calls it several weeks. Therefore, I predict that by the end of the year, the full authorization will have been obtained. And
708 people have been hospitalized with COVID-19. 42 of the patients are critically ill, while 104 severely ill. There are 27,316 active cases on the island. In the last 24 hours, 374 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported. The country's overall case count now stands at 80,780. The positivity rate is 39.9%. Meanwhile, 6 more people have died from COVID-19. The death toll is 1,800. To some other news now. Taxi operators for a second day withdrew their operations and blocked roads in Springmount, St. James in protest over the poor road conditions. They are threatening to escalate their actions if the situation is not addressed. Cody and Barrett reports.
Taxi operators who ply the Springfield to Springmount route in St. James are calling on the relevant authorities to get the road fixed. The operators say the poor condition has left them with additional expenses for their motor vehicles.
Even though the condition of the road is so bad, like actually every Monday morning, the examiner is out by Vistaprint. He's further down, waiting for us, coming through the bad road, and then we're meeting up an examiner. So this is too much.
A peaceful protest today, but they say if nothing is done, they will have to try a different approach.
We did not block it because we're doing it peacefully. But if not, then we are going to have to block it, basically.
So we are sending out a message. They say tomorrow, a different business. So get all one of you get from today and stack up. Government say no movements there. Well, tomorrow no movements there for we. Yeah. No bus now run, nobody now go to market, nothing at all now go on. So we are sending out a message clear, stay home.
This is the second time since the start of the year that taxi operators in the retirement community of St. James have staged a protest over bad roads. They argue that nothing has been done since.
Look here, we are not an unfair set of person. And if it was a case that we see that work, what's going on, then we wouldn't be here today. It is a case where we see that nothing has been done for the past couple of months, upon months. And we've been ignoring it and suffering it for all those times. So now we have to come out, because if you don't come out, this is the only language that the politicians them seem to hear.
Our news team contacted Regional Communications Manager for the National Works Agency, NWA Western Region, Janelle Ricketts, who revealed that plans are underway to improve the driving conditions until a major project to repair the corridor comes on stream.
The NWA has been seeking to improve the conditions along sections of roadways through the critical sections of roadway through a patching program which we started in September, and we have targeted sections of, for example, Springmount and Springfield under this particular program. So residents will see some form of relief in that we have targeted the worst affected sections of this roadway.
Kodian Barrett, TVJ News.
More complaints about an increase in the mosquito population across the country. The latest cries from residents of a St. Thomas community who feel they are at increased risk of contracting viruses such as dengue. More in this report.
Residents of Duhaney Pen in St. Thomas say mosquitoes are making their lives miserable. The problem has been particularly bad in the last few weeks after heavy rains were dumped on the parish by tropical storms Grace and Ida.
At night time, fear mosquito, man. I feel like I'm from early.
This pond that serves as a food source for other animals is believed to be at the center of the residents' plight.
They turn the water this way, so all the way we have a lot of pests in with night and day. Even myself, I can take the mosquito, you can look how me dress to keep off the mosquito off my foot and all those things. So we would like the authority to come round, we get this gully clean from right here to the seaside.
More time they come and show like gas oil and them thing, and that not gonna work. It lead back to the sea. And that not healthy. See me? We more like we want it the clean on a regular basis.
Keep running.
Keep it running. Because once it stands still, the mosquito them build up in night. You see me? So then we have what we call crocodile in night. So with the youth them, it's not safe. You see me? The more time they come up and then property down there. So we don't want to get.
This damaged pipe provides a constant supply of water to a nearby gully. The residents believe this is likely to provide the pest with another breeding site soon. They want help before they have a dengue outbreak to deal with.
I would like the authority to come and see what they're talking about. You know, because I would like this gully to clean and also. Understand?
Earlier this month, the regional health authorities indicated they would be increasing mosquito surveillance, including fogging communities. Residents in the meantime were asked to play their part by covering water containers around their homes. Kodian Barrett, TVJ News.
And it's now time for the Business Minute.
In the financial world, development economist Chris Stokes says Jamaica, like most economies, had no choice but to consider the implementation of a digital currency. He says the direction of the global system is driving the need for central banks to consider cryptocurrencies.
As countries, as people start to use more digital currencies, with respect to the US or it's Ethereum or Bitcoin, there's a real risk that the entire basis of monetary policy can be undermined because the transactions, the creation of value, the multiplication of money in the economy is outside of the government control system, right? So your ability to use interest rates to affect monetary policy in whatever economy is compromised if more and more people are using these other currencies.
The Consumer Affairs Commission, CAC, says it has secured approximately $4.2 million in refunds and compensation on behalf of aggrieved customers for the period April to June 2021. The Commission said it handled 1,815 complaints for the financial year 2020-2021, an increase by about 10.3% from the previous financial year. And
now, for the top regional and international stories, here's O'Shane Masters.
In the region, the US-based Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has raised Bermuda's risk to its highest level as COVID cases and deaths have skyrocketed. Health Minister Kim Wilson is blaming unvaccinated citizens for the surge after the country recorded another coronavirus death, along with 155 new cases. The COVID death toll in Bermuda now stands at 43. There are also 1,513 active cases in the country. Further afield, Indian politicians say UK's travel guidelines, which exclude those vaccinated in India, are offensive. The UK government's new international travel rules, effective from October 4, will exclude fully vaccinated Indians from its quarantine exemptions, prompting several Indian politicians to condemn the move on Twitter. The UK said it would exempt those with a full vaccination from the Oxford AstraZeneca, Pfizer-BioNTech, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson vaccines from a relevant public health body. However, it left out those vaccinated by Covishield, a vaccine developed in the UK by Oxford AstraZeneca. And that's it for the top regional and international stories. I'm O'Shane Masters.
And we head now to a quick break. When we return, we'll have a midday sports report. Simon Preston is standing by.
Welcome back. It's now time for Midday Sports. I'm Simon Preston. Head coach of the Reggae Girls, Hubert Busby, is against the idea of moving the FIFA Women's World Cup from every 4 years to every 2 years. The governing body of football, FIFA, are considering this idea to try grow women's football, but Busby thinks such an idea could hurt Jamaica.
It really doesn't help those developing countries put pieces in place, not just for the senior women's team, but for the other youth teams that would feed the senior women's team. And what I mean by that is you need time within those programs to actually produce, develop players in your country that allows you to have them feed into your national team. And if you're having World Cups every 2 years, you don't really have that. All you're essentially doing is turning around and getting ready to prepare for a next World Cup. And as you know, if you're getting ready always to prepare for a World Cup, it doesn't necessarily allow you time to bring young players through.
FIFA will be holding a meeting with all member associations on September 30 to discuss with federations the possibility of a 2-year World Cup cycle for men and women. A vote is expected sometime before the end of the year. Defending champions Manchester City will host former reggae boy Gareth McCleary and Wycombe Wanderers in the third round of the League Cup at the Etihad Stadium this afternoon. Kick-off is at 1:45. In other 1:45 fixtures on the day, Bobby Reid and Fulham will battle Leeds United. Liverpool entertains Norwich City, while Daniel Johnson's Preston North End plays at Cheltenham Town. On Wednesday, Manchester United will host West Ham United, while Leon Bailey's Aston Villa travels to London to face Chelsea. And finally this afternoon, the Rajasthan Royals were bowled out for 185 inside their 20 overs against the Punjab Kings in match 32 of the Indian Premier League in Dubai today. Yash Jaiswal top scored with 49, while West Indian Evan Lewis made 36. Arshdeep Singh took 5 for 32, while Mohammad Shami also chipped in with 3 for 21 for the Kings. At sports time, the Kings had reached 106 without loss after 10 overs. Chris Gayle was not named in the Punjab Kings 11 on his 42nd birthday. IPL action continues on Wednesday as the Delhi Capitals battles the Sunrisers Hyderabad. And that is it for your Midday Sports Report. I'm Simon Preston. Anthony, it is over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Simon. And that's the Midday News. I'm Anthony Lugg. Join us at 7 for primetime news. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.